Well, that opening surely has me excited to hear some pitches. Good evening, and welcome to the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs Grand Pitch Finale Ensemble. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, and it is an absolute pleasure to have each of you join us this evening from all across the nation. This event is the culmination of 7 pitch competition stops across the country, from the Consumer Electronics Show in January in Las Vegas, which was technically the only in-person pitch stop, to 6 other virtual stops. We have scoured the country to find some of the best and brightest startups in the fintech and health tech space to pitch to you. You'll hear from a total of 8 dynamic startups tonight who are all presenting and pitching their product or service that focuses in the age tech space. And guess who has an important role in tonight's pitch event? Well, of course, you do. There are 2 ways to win tonight. The first, the $10,000 Audience Choice winner, which you'll select, and we'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. And the second way is by way of the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs Grand Pitch Finale winner, selected by the AARP Innovation Labs team. You know, Grand Pitch Finale is not only a pitch competition, but it's also a celebration of the dynamic work and impact that Innovation Labs team does alongside these and other dynamic startups. And what usually accompanies a celebration, that's right, you guessed it, music. This year, more than ever, we've all been looking for ways to connect in our various corners of the world, and time after time, we've seen that music has continued to pull us together. Whether you've been tuned into the Versus entertaining battle, whether you're Team Patty or Team Gladys, I don't know, or if you've experienced the AARP Couch series with Avery Sunshine, or perhaps even took part in the AARP Superstar Challenge. Music has linked us in the most magical ways over the past 6 months. So, let's continue to let music do what it does so well, bring us together. The theme of tonight's event is Ensemble. And throughout the evening, you'll experience all different types of music components, and you'll even have the opportunity to get up out of your seat and move your feet to the beat and learn a new dance routine right from the comfort of your own home. Also, you should know that this thing that we all gravitate towards so much, music, it's also healthy for us. Music is a powerful way to stimulate your brain, and music can have a positive effect on the body and mind, including helping to regulate blood pressure and heart rate. So, while you're enjoying tonight's entertaining pitches, make sure that you grab your snacks. I've got mine. Grab your snacks and beverages because you are in for an incredible treat. Also, don't forget to share your favorite moments of tonight with us on social media at AARP iLabs using the hashtag AARP Ensemble and hashtag Grand Pitch 2020. Also, know that you'll not only be learning about cutting-edge technologies, but you'll also be fueling your brain with all the music that you'll hear throughout the evening. So before we jump into the pitches, let's hear a quick word from Jacqueline M. Baker, Vice President of Startup Programming with AARP Innovation Labs.
On behalf of the entire AARP Innovation Labs team and each and every startup that's here to pitch this evening, we welcome you. I, alongside many of you, I'm sure, am a super fan of music, all different types of music. And so, of course, we're looking forward to sharing that aspect of the show with you this evening. We're also looking forward to sharing the many musical benefits that really correlate directly with brain health, which we discussed a little bit earlier in the show. So you know the what. I mean, it's Grand Pitch, that's what you're here for. But let's talk about the how. How exactly you're involved, because you have a very important role this evening. Each and every one of you is responsible for casting your vote to help determine tonight's AARP Innovation Labs 10K winner. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. You may have noticed a couple of slides back that we talked about an app or an engagement tool called Slido. If you downloaded Slido, fantastic. If you didn't, no worries at all. Right now, I want you to take a moment and either open up that app or navigate over to a browser, maybe on your phone or on your desktop computer or on your laptop, and type in slido.com, SLIDO.com. Once you get there, either on your app or on the desktop or mobile function, put in tonight's event code, which is Grand Pitch 2020. So that's Grand Pitch, GRANDPITCH 2020. I'll give you just a second to get there. And once we're all there, let's just do some practice. Let's make sure that you know what to do when the questions pop up onto your screen. So our first test question tonight, and let's go ahead and be honest here. What quarantine activity have you been engaging in the most? I know what mine is. But what quarantine activity have you been engaging in the most? Go ahead and select your answer. Let's make sure that all of our voting mechanisms are working. All right, I see some answers there. I see some answers coming in. Okay, great, it looks like it's working. So what's your favorite quarantine activity? Let's continue putting our answers in. All right, we'll give it 3 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's advance to our second question. Our second question is, what has been your go-to quarantine snack? I know what mine is too. I'm sure we all know what ours is. What has been your go-to quarantine snack? The thing you just keep snacking on, you can't get enough of it. All right, I'm seeing some great answers coming through. Answers are coming through. All right, we'll give it 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's do one more question. And that question is, what do you not miss when the world was open? What's that one thing that you're just like, ooh, I really don't miss that from when the world was open? And what you're maybe not even looking forward to getting back to it when the world opens back up. So what is that one item that you don't really miss? You don't miss it at all from when the world was open. Okay, answers are coming through. You all know what you're doing now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so guess what? You're all set. Hopefully you have your snacks at home. You know how to work tonight's voting mechanism. Let me tell you specifically how the voting should go. After each and every company pitches, and there are 8 tonight, you're going to cast a rating from 1 star to 5 stars, okay? A question is gonna pop up on your screen, either on your app or in the mobile or desktop application. A question like this will pop up. It'll say, how well did that company's pitch empower people to choose to live how they want as they age, which is our mission here at AARP. You're gonna put in your number of stars from 1 star to 5 stars, and you're gonna hit submit, and that's all. And we're gonna advance forward through all of our pitches for the evening. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in the work of AARP Innovation Labs and for your insight on these dynamic startups from all across the country. We look forward to seeing who our winners are in the end. Thank you again for being here, and have a fantastic pitch experience. Dr. Corte, back to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And like the 2/3 of the folks that responded, I too don't miss the traffic. My quarantine activity has been sunset bike rides, and so they kind of go hand in hand. So by now, you should be experts at our voting mechanism, so let's get our pitches started. Ooh. Welcome to the virtual stage, Katie Forth from ZIBRIO.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Spaceflight. It's the epitome of innovation and success. We even managed to put a person on the moon. But we can't stop them from falling down. And it's happening here on Earth too.
Hello, I'm Catherine Forth, the CEO of ZIBRIO. Falling down is the #1 reason for trauma death and trauma injury at any age, even more than car crashes. And it's especially important for people over 65. That's because 1 in 4 fall down every year. And it costs $50 billion in medical costs every single year. and that's due to double in the next decade. These statistics are a huge problem.
But there's people behind these statistics.
I consider myself a fairly active person. However, a few years ago, at an exercise class, I fell and broke my wrist. This was really horrifying because I couldn't explain what had happened. That I'm sometimes nervous about my balance makes me very cautious when I'm outside walking.
There's this issue in the back of your mind is falling.
It would hold me back from doing things I enjoy, such as working in the church nursery.
So how do we make it better? Well, to improve anything, you first measure and then take action. The CDC agrees. That's a way to prevent falls too. You first screen for fall risk and then intervene. But there's currently no good way to measure balance or fall risk. Until now. Originally invented for astronauts on the moon, our patented technology uses artificial intelligence to measure weight, balance, and fall risk. You just stand on the scale and get a score from 1 to 10. That predicts whether you'll fall down in the next 12 months. The ZIBRIO Balance Coach app guides you through the 6 pillars of balance and provides a personalized action plan so that you can improve. If you can measure it, you can do something about it. And it works. When we left a scale in a senior living facility, the seniors halved the number of falls from the year before. And all they got was their score. So you can test yourself at home, at the gym, or in the doctor's office. The scale integrates into all phases of your life. And each of these markets are large and growing. The older adults are booming, and they control 70% of the country's wealth. Telemedicine is projected to be a $250 billion market. Our users love this technology because it can save money, save lives, and generate reimbursement revenue. We have a hardware plus SaaS business model and generate recurring revenue from clinical and consumer software. We have the best combination of predictive algorithms and usability, and we can identify 2 to 4 times more high-risk individuals. We give personalized care. We're a certified space technology with 6 patents. Our team has been conducting groundbreaking research for over 20 years. What gives us our unfair advantage? Well, we're both world experts in balance and full assessment and big data. We've tested thousands of people. We have pre-order sales, and our balance specialists are across 8 countries. And we're launching on the 29th of October 2020. How do we make a difference in this world? Well, let's hear.
I'm really excited because you can be proactive.
ZIBRIO does a wonderful job of giving us that knowledge before we go into our activities.
It's very helpful to keep constant contact on how well we're doing with our balance.
Well, it makes you have more confidence.
You can take better care of yourself.
Yes, take better care of myself, yes.
It's very empowering for me and my husband. I feel very confident that I can get out and hike a trail.
It's liberating, it's empowering. Nothing else is quite like it.
I've spoken to quite a few and bragged about mine.
From space to you, ZIBRIO gives you the control so you can stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself. Now it's time to cast your votes. Go ahead and open up your Slido app or webpage and submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars. The question that you need to answer is on your screen. All right, now welcome to the virtual stage, Raul Baxi from SmartyPans.
Hi, I'm Raul, and this is my sister and co-founder, Prachi. Prachi is a nutritionist and also my health coach. She is the one who inspired me to start cooking at home to track my nutrition. I also miss my mom's home-cooked meals. And what started as necessity for me became my hobby. And now I love cooking. Cooking is one such hobby that is cherished across all age groups around the world. Cooking and sharing that meal with your loved one is as enjoyable for a 70-year-old as it is to a 20-year-old. Although the definition of sharing is different for both. Now, in addition to all the fun aspects of cooking, studies show that cooking is good for your mental health, physical health, and cognitive health. But despite of all these health benefits, cooking remains a very isolated task. More so for the older adults, 80% of whom are empty nesters. This is exactly why SmartyPans exists. We are a social cooking platform powered by our patented hardware that brings together people from all walks of life through their common passion for food. Our first product is a smart cooking pan with weight and temperature sensors that connects to our app over Bluetooth. And here's how it works. As you cook with SmartyPans, it automatically measures weight and temperature for each ingredient and records the recipe for you. Once you are done cooking, you also get the detailed nutrition breakdown for the recipe you just cooked. Now you can share this recipe with anyone on the SmartyPans platform or keep it private for yourself. You can also select a recipe from the app and get step-by-step cooking instructions. The app tells you when to increase the temperature or lower the temperature, when to add the next ingredient, and when to move on to the next step. Once you are done cooking, you get the nutrition again, and you can share that with your fitness trackers. Now, recipes on SmartyPans are all user-generated. So anyone and everyone is an influencer. You're not just sharing recipes with your family and friends, but you're also getting quality content from prominent chefs, fitness enthusiasts, fitness coaches, and nutritionists from all around the world. As a user, you immediately become part of a community that inspires how you cook. With SmartyPans, we are making cooking fun, social, interactive, and informative. And we make sure that even when you're cooking by yourself, you're never cooking alone. Thank you.
Because who likes cooking alone? All right, now it's time to cast your vote. Go ahead and open up Slido and submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars. The question that you need to answer is on your screen. All right, now welcome to the virtual stage, Mark Greggett from NuEyes Technologies.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to learn more about NuEyes. A little bit about myself. I was a med tech device rep about 10 years ago working in the assistive technology space, helping people that have macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, retinitis pigmentosa, and I was getting referrals from doctors. Again, doctors are really great at being doctors, not so much salespeople. So for me, I was getting referrals from them, going out to the patient's house, working in their house. And the latest of technology, unfortunately, was almost the microfiche machine. So it's a big screen, about 30 inches or so, and there was a tray table underneath, and people could put a document underneath, magnify, things like that. Very archaic. It sat in the corner most of the time. And after hearing several thousand times, Mark, why can't someone come up with a pair of glasses that does the same thing? That's exactly what I did. So any good tech story starts in your garage. So in 2013, with some crude algorithms, bubblegum, duct tape, and very crude PCB boards, we came up with a pair of AR smart glasses, went back out to those patients' house and asked them, what do you think? What do you like? And then again in 2016, we launched NuEyes with a pair of AR smart glasses. So it's really about helping the visually impaired age in place. With our patented technology, you can magnify in and out with your voice. You can do contrast overlays, and then also use obviously this for various reasons for streaming content and things like that. So who are we at NuEyes? We're a technology company that enhances vision where it matters most. A world-class team includes industry experts from the healthcare, technology, and business sectors. And what we do, of course, is we provide a multitude of AR and VR smart glasses for low vision and medical, training as well as learning, as well as telepresence. We are lighter, faster, less expensive, and more flexible, and have a broader range of features than any other solution on the market, and we can prove it. We've sold thousands of units in the market, we've experienced year-over-year revenue growth, and we are profitable. So the challenge or the problem, if you will, there are over 280 million people in the world with severe visual impairment, and is expected to grow over 72% in the next 10 years. The existing solutions are ineffective and inefficient, hard to obtain, and financially unreachable. But with our solution, our augmented reality smart glasses, they're lightweight and comfortable, easy to use, easy to obtain, as well as easily affordable. So for us, we really do help people. We help the blind see again, we help doctors save lives, and we help people learn and do their jobs more efficiently. With the market, as you don't know or you may know, AR and VR is set to expand into multiple billions of dollars. Really what we're doing is we're concentrating on the healthcare market, which is expected to grow by 2025 to $4.7 billion. With our competition, again, we offer a lightweight feature. So in regards to pricing as well as features, we really stand out as the market leader. Our products start off about $19.95 and go up to about $34.95. And again, we couldn't do it without all our partners, our omni-channel distribution partners, such as the VA. So Veterans Administration, we are a veteran-owned company. So we have a great relationship with the VA. So if you are a veteran, you can get our product free of charge through them. United Healthcare Group, AT&T have been so great in regards to reimbursement. So if you have that insurance, you can get it free of charge through them. And then Comcast, we announced our partnership late last year. The video with James has garnered almost 10 million views. I definitely recommend seeing it if you haven't seen it. And the team, of course. So with myself, I'm surrounded by way smarter people than me, of course. Regina Chapman is in charge of sales and marketing. She's doing a great job. She's done over $4 million in sales. Revenue growth from June to July was over 368%. July to August was over 180%. She does a great job. And of course, we're not doctors, we're technologists, so we have a great team of advisors from Dr. Novak, Dr. Samuel, Dr. Kruger, as well as Dr. Kaplan. So we really appreciate their help. So for us, thank you so much for your time tonight. NuEyes, we are here to stay. We are a great technology company in AR. We're a market leader, revenue generating. We've achieved product market fit, and we're here to stay. Thank you so much for your time.
NuEyes, I'm jealous. Now it's time to cast your votes. Go ahead and submit your vote from 1-star to 5-star via Slido. All right, now we're ready to welcome to the virtual stage Joseph Schneer from Trusty.Care.
If there's one thing that everyone in America can agree on, it's how confusing insurance is. But I want to talk to you about the cost of that confusion and how it affects older adults' lives and what we're doing about it at Trusty.Care. 5 years ago, I met my wife. She has a PhD in biology. She's a professor at a college here in New York City, and she's a remarkable person. She's the kind of person that has every single minute of her day organized. So she wakes up at 5 o'clock, from 5 a.m. to 5:30. She studies philosophy. 5:30 to 6, she gets on her exercise bike and reads about the Renaissance. 6 to 6:30, she practices the saxophone. 6:30 to 7, she learns about new math. By 9 a.m., she has learned more than I'm going to learn in the next 5 years. My wife also grew up poor. It was a level of poverty that honestly I can't even begin to relate to. It was a town of 700 people. For portions of her childhood, she didn't have running water, didn't have enough food for most of her childhood. And so before she went to college, she did all sorts of different jobs. She was a truck driver, a prison guard. She worked as a CNA in a nursing home and a hospital. She is literally the scrappiest, hardest working, and smartest person that I have ever met. My wife is also transgender, and when she was trying to get her second gender affirmation surgery, it took her literally 2 years, 4 appeals, a doctor, a lawyer, a social worker, and over 500 of her own hours in order to get it approved by insurance. And I think about that. If somebody as smart as she is, with the wherewithal and drive that she has, can't possibly navigate the system, what chance do the rest of us have? My guess is that each one of you has a similar story about how the complexity of health insurance has affected your life. But what happens when you move into retirement? Most of us know that you move on to Medicare. But what I didn't realize was how complex that is. Out of any group in America, older adults are at most risk of going through bankruptcy because of out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. And that's when you have health insurance. In fact, your second largest expense in retirement is going to be your healthcare costs. And over 25% of older adults believe they can't afford their medications with their insurance. That is where Trusty comes in. We have built the first digital platform that takes into account your lifestyle choices, your income, your health, and matches you to exactly the right insurance products, benefits, and cost-saving tools that can help you identify how to better use your health plan, get the right health plan, and reduce your overall risk of cost of care. Our digital platform is sold to health insurance brokers whose businesses have been operating like it's still 1995. And they use our platform to help their customers to assess their risk of incurring out-of-pocket healthcare costs and to get them into the right health insurance plans. We're also able to assess gaps in coverage and where you're going to need help with your medication costs. Because let's be honest, how many of us can actually figure out how to reduce our medication spend? By the end of 2020, we'll be in the hands of 15,000 brokers reaching over 1 million older adults, which is a staggering number. But each broker that gets onboarded to our system brings onto our system a huge number of older adults. And the most important thing is that for each one of them, we're saving them thousands of dollars a year in their healthcare costs. We're using the Trusty platform to answer the mysteries of the U.S. healthcare system. Which pharmacies should we go to? Which doctors in network? And in this period of time when time has become sort of a loose concept, have you gotten your flu shot this year? We're a team based out of New York. 70% of us were not born in the U.S. And we have experienced healthcare systems all over the world, the upsides and the downsides. And we believe that we are the team to help the tens of millions of older adults in America navigate the U.S. healthcare system. Trusty is getting deep in the muck of how health insurance works. We find the right data to present to people in a digestible format so that they can understand how to reduce their healthcare costs. And we believe that they should be able to do that without needing a PhD. Trusty's mission is to make sure that no retiree goes through bankruptcy because of out-of-pocket healthcare costs. And we're getting there by turning professionals and brokers into the HR department for retirees. Join us in our mission by voting for Trusty.Care.
And thanks to the folks at Trusty.Care for that video. I didn't realize how long it's been since I've seen a fax machine. Did you all see that fax machine in their video? Oh my goodness. Well, it's time to cast your votes. Go ahead and submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars. Okay. Now it's time to get up and move your feet to the musical beat. Yeah, I know that's super cheesy, but hang with us. Welcome to the virtual stage, New York City choreographer, Elia McHale, and her mom, Anne.
Wow, what incredible startups we've seen so far. Now it's time for a quick intermission, so let's get up and stretch those legs. I'm Elia, and this is my mom.
Hi, I'm Anne.
And I'm gonna walk you all through a quick dance sequence, so let's start. 5, 6, 7, 8. First thing you're gonna do is put your right arm out, then your left arm, then you're gonna bring your right arm up, following with your left arm, and you're gonna shake, shake, shake. But once you shake, you're gonna be leaning to the right first, facing left, and then you switch to the left and face right. So you're gonna do that twice, putting together. So you go right, left, shake, shake. Again, right, left, shake, shake. Good job. So after you shake and you end on the last move, we're already here. So we're gonna twist a little bit to the center for the next move, and our arms are gonna stay up. So the next move, you're gonna tilt your head forward, and then your arms are gonna come a little bit towards your body. Then you're gonna shift to the right, and then when you come back, your arms cross in front of your body, and then you pick up the leg that does not have any weight on it. And then so you're gonna bring it back down, then do the same thing front to the left, and now you're gonna lift your opposite leg that doesn't have weight on it. And you're gonna do that 4 times. So to put it together, it's gonna look like this. Front, side, cross, together. Front, left, cross, together. Front, right, cross, together. Front, left, cross, together. Good. So you're gonna do that 4 times. And then afterwards, there's a little break in the music. So we're just gonna sway. So after your last cross, you're gonna start on your right, and we're gonna sway for 8 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after the 8th count, you're gonna bring your arms up and then bring them back down across your body. So then your left arm is meeting your right shoulder, and you're gonna tilt your right shoulder a little bit to meet your left arm. And then your right arm is going directly towards your right leg. So let's do it again. You're gonna go out and down. This is called the whoa. Out and down. So this comes right after the 8th count of the sway. So you're gonna go 7, 8, and whoa. Again. 7, 8, and whoa. Again. 7, 8, and whoa to the left. 7, 8, and whoa. Good. So after you do the whoa, you're gonna clap, then you're gonna step right together, left together, whoa again, clap, right together, left together, and then you're done. So let's put that together with the music. 6, 7, 8. Thank you for dancing with me and my mom. Now let's see the rest of the startups in tonight's Grand Pitch finale.
Yay! That was great. That was lots of fun. I'm more of an ad-lib dancer, so I think all the instruction was a little bit intimidating, but you all made it as easy as you could. A big thanks to the two of you for showing us some dance moves. Now I have some new dance moves, you have some new dance moves, we have new dance moves under our belt. So let's now get back to the pitches. Welcome to the virtual stage, Julie Lineberger from Pad L3C.
COVID-19 has been difficult for a lot of families. Pad L3C has been able to help. I'd like to tell you about the Everingham family, who wanted their father to move in with them, but their house wasn't accessible. So until they could make their house accessible, they moved him into a nursing home near their house. Then COVID-19 hit. 2 days later, she called me, "Is there anything you can do for my father?" I said, "I think so." And then we delivered WheelPad, our ad pad, to them less than a month after the first call. WheelPad offers personal accessible dwellings, PADS, pads for people to live, work, and play where they would like to. All pads are designed to exceed ADA standards and are designed with the AARP's Home Fit Guide and Home Fit AR in mind. Our newest model is the Pad, which is a personal accessible dwelling or a tiny home, specifically for people with mobility issues. The Ad Pad is a 200 square foot accessible bedroom and bathroom that attaches to an existing home. This family was able to pull it with a greater than heavy-duty truck, which it's designed for the length, height, width to travel on Agency of Transportation roads. Their mother was living in their living room in a hospital bed for 9 months. Not so good for marital harmony. Now everyone's pretty happy. Every pad has a roll-in shower where an aide can assist in toileting. Non-slip floors, grab bars, everything. Every pad also has a hoist track. In this particular XL pad, it helps with mobility of movement. It helps someone independently get from their bed to their bathroom should they need it. And this one was built for Edmund Little. He's a Vietnam veteran who had ALS. The project was fully funded by the Veterans Administration Specialty Adapted Housing Grant. And as he was exploring AdPad, he says, you know, I really like it, but I'm losing my legs. I still want to sleep next to my wife. So XL was created that accommodates a queen-size bed. Connectors are built from the AdPad and the XL pad to the house, depending on the aesthetic and the budget of each particular customer. But what happens if we need more? Something a little bit larger, like maybe a multi-pad? One multi-pad we did is for 3 people of members of a faculty housing that needed their faculty housing built very, very quickly over a summer. We were in talks with a senior living community in Arizona to build a 4-unit multi-pad with a nursing station in the center. WheelPad is incorporated as a L3C, a low-income limited liability company, which means foundations can give us grants as part of their program-related investment. It's a hybrid between a nonprofit and a for-profit. So far, the Veterans Administration Specialty Adapted Housing Grant and also Extreme Worker Comp cover all pad costs. We're working with health insurance companies, Medicaid and Medicare, so they too can offer coverage. By purchasing an AdPad and getting nursing services, a family can save approximately $2,500 a month on care for their seniors. And they maintain equity in their home. It has better outcomes in terms of physical and mental health, and it's a bit more fun. It takes an amazing group of very dedicated people to maintain the vision and evolve the vision of WheelPad, which is to provide accessible housing for people to live where they want. WheelPad was inspired by my godson. 4 days before his 26th birthday, he became quadriplegic. The story of our origin is on TEDx. We have nearly 65,000 views. TEDx Hoboken. Check it out. We have been awarded with so many wonderful recognitions. One, Women's Day magazine voted us their inaugural Socialpreneur Award. We've received innovation awards from Fast Company, from World Architecture News, and many others. So far, we've got 10 installed, starting with our prototype in 2017. And in the last year and a half, it's been 9 more. 10, it'll be next month. And it's very exciting because each person has a story that is just heartrending, that just keeps our family, our WheelPad family so motivated. I wish I could share more of those stories with you. The fact is, WheelPad keeps families together. We're reuniting families. We're giving people an opportunity to live where they want to live, with who they want to live, by making houses accessible somewhere within 2 weeks to a month. And it's the coolest room in the house.
It's like the coolest room in the house indeed. Now it's time to cast your vote. Go ahead and submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars using Slido. That's okay, we'll wait. All right, now welcome to the virtual stage, Jill Angelo from Gennev.
I'm Jill Angelo. I'm 46, and I share a common challenge with many of you, menopause. That's why I founded Gennev, the first ever online clinic for women in the second half of life starting with menopause. There's 38 million of us around the United States between the ages of 45 to 65. We're Gen X women, we're baby boomers, we're taking care of kids, and we're taking care of elderly parents. We're at the center of the intergenerational family. You see, every woman's going to go through menopause, and yet doctors have no training in this part of our life, which can contribute to up to 34 different symptoms that oftentimes really hurt our quality of life, and in many cases damage our family relationships. Symptoms range from fatigue and joint pain, to inability to sleep, to weight gain, depression, anxiety, even painful sex. And these symptoms can last up to 20 years. Gennev's vision is to treat the whole woman by creating an online platform for women's health in the second half of life, starting with menopause. You see, menopause is this pivotal point where we kick off the second half of life. There's a lot of hormonal changes happening in our bodies, and how we treat our health during this transition impacts our long-term chronic health care across heart health, bone health, and brain health. Gennev's platform offers telehealth access to specialists in 49 different states. We have supplements and hygiene products and over-the-counter products for symptom relief. And finally, we offer free education and community so women can learn what's happening in their bodies and they can authentically connect with other women in a safe space. Over the past 12 months, we've reached 1 million women, predominantly starting through education. From there, they join our community by taking our proprietary menopause assessment, which helps them understand where they're at in this 20-year journey of their life. 90% of them go on to create an account on Gennev.com and manage their health via our health dashboard. And finally, thousands are purchasing products and scheduling services and appointments with our practitioners and finding the relief and the support that they need. Our approach is working. 96% of all of our customers tell us they experience more energy, they're sleeping better, and they have less dryness. Now, our competition comes in 3 different flavors. Number 1, there are those organizations that are prescribing medications to menopausal women simply through a questionnaire, rather than actually talking to a woman via a video chat through telehealth like we do at Gennev.com. Other players are priced for the top 1%, whereas Gennev has priced our products and our services as close to a copay as possible. And unlike generic telehealth players, Gennev has specialists. We have 25 OBGYNs, many of whom are certified by the North American Menopause Society. We're serving patients and improving access throughout the United States. In fact, 50% of our patients are in rural areas. Our business model is a combination of e-commerce transaction and subscription. Today, on average, women spend about $146 with us annually across products and services. As we grow those products and services to treat the whole woman beyond just menopause, we expect that spend will go up to $425 annually, which puts us at $1 billion business. My team is a mixture of healthcare and business and technology. Our chief medical officer comes from Penn Medicine. I myself spent 20 years in the technology industry, much of that time at Microsoft, building brands and running businesses. And our head of technology built the first ever women's health app at Providence Healthcare. Together, this team is working to achieve our vision to be the women's health platform and to treat the whole woman in the second half of life. We'd appreciate your vote and support today to help us reach the next 1 million women.
It's time. Go ahead and submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars, thanks to the founder of Gennev. Now, welcome to the virtual stage, Sean Chavis from LVNGBook.
I'm Sean Chavis, founder of LVNGBook. We offer customizable cookbooks for chronic conditions. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, Lisa.
Hello there. Are you cooking something?
Yeah, fruit stuffed sweet potatoes. Give me a few. A few years ago, Lisa was suffering symptoms that doctors couldn't diagnose until finally a physician told her she had an autoimmune disorder, and that was not a good day.
I had a long list of food to avoid, and it seemed like the more research I did, the longer that list got. It felt like there was nothing I could actually eat. How was I supposed to make dinner?
That day, Lisa called me understandably overwhelmed. She called me because I've specialized in healthy cookbooks as a development editor for Time Inc. And when she called, I felt like there has to be a better way to help my friend make this major change for the rest of her life. What if instead of a list, she'd been able to get a personalized cookbook full of recipes for foods she loves already developed for her condition? Meet LVNGBook. 6 in 10 adults in the United States have a chronic disease, and among people aged 45 to 64, nearly half have 2 or more conditions. But when doctors diagnose patients with a chronic disease that requires a diet change, 7 times out of 10, they only give verbal advice or a list of foods.
What do they expect me to do with this? I love to cook and have people over. What am I supposed to cook with? No eggs, no bread, no sugar, no pizza?
That gives you an idea about how challenging this was for Lisa. Now imagine if you have more than one condition, or you have a family to cook for, or you're trying to fit this change into a busy life, or stay connected to your food traditions. A list doesn't help you with any of that. It's no wonder that adherence to dietary lifestyle change for chronic disease is as low as 20%. In our research, people identified 2 needs. The first was turning that list into meals like our Rise and Shine fruit stuffed sweet potatoes. I'm just going to put 2 teaspoons of butter in a pan, add 1 diced apple, and saute it for a few minutes. Then turn off the heat and add half a cup of blueberries. The second need was help making lifestyle change last. LVNGBook wants to make diet change easy. We deliver a customizable print-on-demand cookbook with a habit change guide and meal planner, all in one box delivered to customers' homes. So if LVNGBook had been around when Lisa was first diagnosed, instead of giving her a long list, her doctor would have told her to go to LVNGBook.com. Lisa creates a profile with her needs and preferences. Then LVNGBook shows her a list of recipes designed for her condition. She gets to choose the recipes she likes to create her own one-of-a-kind cookbook. So we've already seen the sweet potato, the apple sauteed in butter with cinnamon and blueberries. Now I've got some other toppings: almond butter, chia seeds, pomegranate, and walnuts. Now, this is normally a breakfast recipe, but it also makes a great side dish for a holiday dinner. Think of it as an alternative to smothering your sweet potatoes in burned marshmallows. Here's more about the LVNGBook experience. First, the recipes are all developed by culinary professionals and approved by registered dietitians, and they're designed to be easy, quick, and family friendly. Our habit change guide and journal are designed by a behavioral scientist to help you create the environment and mindset you need to succeed. And LVNGBook makes it easy to buy groceries. Every recipe has a QR code. Just scan the code with your smartphone and you get an ingredient list you can send to Instacart, Amazon Fresh, or Walmart Grocery to get delivery or arrange for pickup. All done, Lisa! We're focused on servicing Gen X and Boomers right at the age when a diagnosis is likely to happen. We're starting with heart disease and will soon add diabetes and other conditions. If we can get people to eat a healthy meal just 20% more often than they already do, it would save 3 million heart disease events, 120,000 cases of diabetes, and $47 billion a year in healthcare costs in the US. We are focused on giving people back their time, ways to feel confident instead of overwhelmed, and lives that they enjoy.
All right, LVNGBook, I don't know what happened to my in-studio sample, but it looked mighty delicious. So you know what to do. Go ahead and submit your votes from 1 star to 5 stars. All right, now it's time to welcome to the virtual stage Natalie Youssef from Reclaim Health.
Take a moment and think about a loved one you've been caring for. Maybe it's your child, your partner, or perhaps a parent you've been helping through their healthcare journey. The highs and the lows, those series of diagnostic tests, the tension in the physician's room before a diagnosis, the treatments, and the bills, these dreadful bills. For me, it is my aunt. She had been pushing off that hip surgery for months on end and finally got to terms to get it done. A few weeks after her surgery, I get this text from her. The first of a series of bills, and she couldn't make sense of it. 2 weeks later, she got a bill from the anesthesiologist, out of network, and she thought her health plan would cover it. I called her up, and she was confused, frustrated, angry, and resigned. A month later, texting her to make sure she's following up on her physical therapy, and that's what I get. Despite the pain, she decided to put off care because she felt she could no longer afford it this year. And she blamed it on her health plan. My aunt is not alone. In 2019, 82 million people like my aunt decided to put off care due to cost. And see, these people had coverage, a coverage that they selected among many, many options and thought it would help them to get the care they need to be the healthiest they can be. Well, what if my aunt's experience was different? We've come together, healthcare, analytics, technology, and insurance experts to solve a serious math problem on the back end, so my aunt and all of us won't have to. We created Reclaim, a digital healthcare financial advocacy platform to help us all get the right care at the right time at the right price. How would Reclaim have helped my aunt? Well, Reclaim would have notified her of her hip surgery bill, explaining in simple terms what she is being charged for, and giving her exact guidance to chip off her anesthesiologist's bill and reconcile those overbilled charges. And see that additional hospital coverage she had purchased years ago? Well, Reclaim makes sure she files for reimbursement to help offset the remainder of her costs, saving her in the process thousands of dollars. And when it's open enrollment, she'd get an immediate overview of how her current health plan is working for her. And then Reclaim's AI will crunch the numbers and then give her an immediate recommendation as to the best health plan option for her future care needs, and encouraging her to renew that additional hospital coverage. See, Reclaim stays by her side through it all, no matter where life takes her or where she gets her coverage from. Now, what is behind Reclaim's tech? It's a data-driven engine that maps my aunt to patients like her in the community with a similar healthcare journey. Learning from the experiences of these patients like her, Reclaim predicts her healthcare needs over time and helps her optimize her healthcare choices accordingly. Well, as an MIT nerd, I'm tempted to walk you through the details of the AI, but it's late in the day, so we'll keep it for another time. But do reach out, and I'm happy to talk about it together over a virtual happy hour drink. We all have the potential to save a total of $86 billion every year on healthcare expenses. And Reclaim is already helping users receiving coverage from their employer manage their healthcare bills, budget for care, and select the best health plan for their needs. And it is messages like this that make our journey at Reclaim worth every bit of effort. Where is Reclaim heading next? Well, we want to help people age into Medicare and make that transition confidently. Both our users and our business partners cannot wait for our Medicare rollout later this fall, and we need your help to spread the word about Reclaim, join our beta, and guide us on our journey. Join us in bringing Reclaim to as many healthcare users as possible, because we all deserve to live our healthiest lives.
Oh, wow. Great stuff. Well, it's time for the last vote. Submit your vote from 1 star to 5 stars in Slido. All right, that's all 8 finalists. That means it's time to tabulate some votes. All the audience votes are in. The AARP Innovation Labs team are tabulating their votes as well. So while we do some final calculations, let's do some music trivia. Here's how it'll work. I'll ask 6 questions from each decade that AARP has been in existence, starting in the 1960s. You'll answer the question in the chat box where the AARP Innovation Labs is on the lookout for the first correct answer. So if it's the 3rd or 4th or 5th, it doesn't count. It's gotta be the first correct answer. So let's start with the 1960s. Ray Charles had his first #1 hit in November 1960 by reviving a song from the 1930s. Which song did he remake in his unique style and take to the top of the charts? We'll give you 15 seconds to put your answer in. While you're putting your answer in, I will say that Jamie Foxx, if you're streaming in, you did a marvelous job playing Ray Charles in the Academy Award-winning film Ray. You earned that Oscar. And that song is Georgia on My Mind. In fact, Jamie Foxx sang it in the movie. Georgia on My Mind is the correct answer. Now on to the 1970s. Who was the first act on the 1970s Soul Train? You have 15 seconds to answer that. While you're putting your answer in the chat, and I know some of my family members are streaming this live, and remember Saturday mornings where our parents would be blaring either the stereo or Soul Train. And so tips them out for Don Cornelius and all the folks that continue to host a Soul Train line on a dance floor near them. Okay, so the correct answer is, that's right, you guessed it, Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight and the Pips, they were the first performers on the first syndicated episode on October 2nd, 1971. Soul Train was an American music dance television program that featured performances by R&B, soul, dance, pop, and hip hop artists, for those of you that didn't know. Okay, on to the 1980s. I know the 80s pretty well. Which American actor joined New Kids on the Block as a 13-year-old before quitting the band just a few months later? We'll give you 15 seconds to put the correct answer in the chat box. I think you should know that the person that we're speaking of has been on the cover of Men's Health magazine a number of times. They're probably wishing they didn't leave New Kids on the Block as soon as they did. They've done pretty well in terms of the movies, but Mark Wahlberg Mark Wahlberg is the guy that left New Kids on the Block too soon. Too soon, I think. So Mark, if you're listening, we all make mistakes. All right, 1990s. How many weeks did The Voice, Whitney Houston, how many weeks did Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You spin atop the Billboard 100? You have 15 seconds to answer that. Whitney Houston, an incredible talent. Gave us so many incredible hits. I feel like she has a hit for every stage of relationship. You know, falling in love phase, the courting phase, the, hunk of burning love phase, and, why did I do this phase, every phase. Whitney Houston. The correct answer, 14 weeks on the Billboard 100 charts. Okay, now on to the turn of the century. We're in the 2000s. In 2002, which is actually the year I graduated from high school, if you can believe that, Nelly released Dilemma, featuring Kelly Rowland as the third single from his album, Nellyville. In the accompanying music video, Kelly Rowland texts her love interest, "Where you at?" using what unusual application? You have 15 seconds to answer this. And if I remember correctly, the song Dilemma was also a sample of a Patti LaBelle song, right? So for those of you that are really into that versus battle, like Team Gladys versus Team Patti, right? We're Geneva here, right? There's a Patti question, there's a Gladys question. So don't muck up our inbox thinking that we were partial to one or the other. All right, the answer to that question, Excel. Who knew Excel had an app? I knew it was an application on your computer. I didn't know people sent messages. It's certainly not in 2002, but that's what the correct answer is. All right, on to the 2010s. That's what we call them, the 2010s. What country rap song was the fastest to gain the award of Diamond certification by the RIAA? That's the Recording Industry Association of America. You have 15 seconds to answer this. I'll say this song was on the radio and everywhere for what felt like forever. Young kids were singing this song. All right, I'll tell you. Old Town Road is a song. All right, wow, 6 decades. 6 decades have gone by fast. Hopefully, you learned a thing or two about music of the past and present, and a special congratulations to the following music trivia winners. You ready? I'm gonna announce your names. This is super cool, oh my gosh. Barbara Bittner, Makeda Okolo, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Looks like Saban Dolier, or Siobhan Dolier. I see Julia with a G, looks like Julia Pistorio, and Megan Moy, and last but not least, Shane Goddick. You all are our winners, and so be on the lookout for what you've won. So now let's get ready to learn who tonight's winners are. You just learned who they are. You just learned who the winners were for our little music trivia contest. Let's slow it down, right? So you just heard the winners for the music trivia contest. Now you're about to learn who tonight's winners are for the pitches. The pitches. But first, let me welcome to the stage the Senior Vice President of AARP Innovation Labs, my friend Andy Miller. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, Dr. Corte. As mentioned earlier, we virtually scoured the country and collaborated with great community partners to engage hundreds of startups that were then narrowed down to these 8. We want to take a moment and recognize each of them for being a finalist in the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs pitch competition. So please hold your virtual applause until we've called out all of the companies. So many thanks to ZIBRIO, SmartyPans, NuEyes, Trusty.Care, Pad, Gennev, LVNGBook, and Reclaim. And now it's time to announce tonight's winners. The Audience Choice Award and winner of the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs Grand Pitch $10,000 award is Julie Lineberger in WheelPad. Congratulations, WheelPad. All right, and for tonight's second award, the winner of the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs Grand Pitch Finale Annual Award is Catherine Forth in ZIBRIO. Congratulations, ZIBRIO. I would like to thank each and every finalist and, of course, the winners of the 2020 AARP Innovation Labs Grand Pitch Awards. And listen, we're so happy that you've joined us this evening. As we close out this evening, think about all of the ways you can change the world by coming together with other people, with your own ensemble. From the entire AARP Innovation Labs team, thank you for coming, and do stay connected with us for future opportunities to empower people to choose how they live as they age. Now, Dr. Corte, back to you one more time.
Thank you, Andy. All right, what a night. We had some great snacks, great pitches, great music, and of course we had you. As you prepare to head out tonight, we hope that you've learned a great deal about what's happening in the age tech space, and hopefully you've gotten inspired to explore an age tech solution of your own. Remember that you can stay connected with all of the happenings with AARP Innovation Labs on Instagram and Twitter at AARP iLabs. So as you head out, here's just one final goodbye from our startups and the team at AARP Innovation Labs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night, everyone.